Alright, hello and welcome to my channel. So today we're gonna take a look at something for my own KITT replica, and it's this mini PC. So I've ordered this mini PC from Amazon. So it wasn't very expensive. It was around 180 euros. So today we are gonna taking a look what's inside this box. I already set up the computer, so we'll just plug it in and fire it up. So I'll show you how I'm gonna do the voice recognition with my kit. So I'm gonna show you the program I'm using. So yeah, let's get started. In the package we have the computer itself, and with this one it was important for me to get a computer which is very small, so that it would fit in my center console. So you can always get the bigger ones, the bigger car PCs, and they usually are a little bit bigger than this one here. They are just like more or less the size of this box or a little bit larger. So you can put them inside the trunk of the car. So you have the computer there, and you have to wire up all the cables. You have to route them to the trunk to use the computer. So I didn't want to do that. I just wanted something which I could put into my center console, like underneath the lid, so that I can just plug in my touchscreens and yeah, just use it for the voice recognition and for the program, like the Night Thunder program I will install on this device as well. So the Night Thunder program is a specific program developed in Italy for computers to use with KITT replicas. So most of you should be familiar with with this software. So I'm not going into much detail about it. So I will make a specific video once the computer is inside the car, wired up and running the program. So in this video, I will show you just the hardware I'm using, like the computer I'm using, and I will just turn it on and show you what ways we have to plug certain things in and what outlets we have on this device specific, and the technical details of this one, how much RAM it has and how much memory integrated, and which operating system is on this device, you will see in the description below. So yeah, let's get further here. So you have the computer, of course. I just taped up the brand. It's not a brand, it's a big brand, so it's nothing big here. So I just wanted to put on another sticker with the Night Industries logo, just to mimic the central processor unit of KITT. So I could have ordered this one in black as well. I think this one should be available also in black or a similar one, but I just ordered the next available one. For the others, you had to wait a little bit longer. So it doesn't matter actually for me, because it's hidden inside the center console. So I'm just I was just curious about the hardware and if it's running Windows as well as I promised. So I'm gonna put one of these stickers on the lid of this computer, so it looks just a little bit more um, Knight Riderish. So next one, you also got a power supply inside. This one, it's 12 volt. It's outputting 12 volt and around, what is it, 2.5 amps. So should be possible to rewire it to use it inside the car. So not a big deal. And you also get a HDMI cable for connecting up to a screen. So for me, well, it was important that I get a PC which has enough outputs for screens. So you can see you have two HDMI ports and you have plenty of USB ports. You have 1, 2, 3 USB, 4 USBs. So you have enough USB ports. Also get a network port. We are not going to use that one, but we will use the headphone out for the voice box. Actually, we will go to a sound mixer from this one on, like we'll put in a sound mixer to USB. It's like a sound card, and then we're going to use that. Maybe we will use that one as well. So we will see. But it was important for me that you have enough ports for the displays. So one way would be just to use these HDMI ports. So the screens inside KITT, they have connections like RCA and VGA. So we cannot simply plug in HDMI to them. We have to get a converter for that. I already have one. So the good thing is we have a VGA port already built into this device. So we can hook up one screen with the VGA port, and we can use another HDMI with a converter to get the RCA or VGA signal out of it. So that was an important thing for me. So the other thing is most of the devices already have more or less good processor in it, like this one has an Intel processor in it and SSD, so internal memory. So you don't have to bother with with the hard drives, with mechanical hard drives and things like that. You don't need many or high memory on these devices as well, because we are gonna put the audio files for KITT on it and running the programs. So they're not going to use a lot of memory on this device. So far with all of these outlets we have here, of course we have the power button here. So what we will do later on, we'll just open this thing up, and we will just solder two wires to this button here, and not taking out this button, but we are gonna just hack the button and put some wires on it, so we can use one of the buttons from the lower console to turn the PC on and off. So we don't have to access this button here all the time. And we will just use a few of these USB ports. We already have the upper console we have installed inside KITT is a USB upper console with a USB keyboard inside. So we can hook it up to one of these USB ports and program the buttons with with the program we are using for the voice recognition as well. So that's a thing I will show you shortly. So stay tuned for that. And that's it basically. You have inside the box, you also have a bracket to mount it to a wall. So we might using this one here because we are putting all the electronic stuff maybe on a panel, like a wood panel or something like that, just to get easy access to it. Once if you have to maintenance work, you can just take out everything from the center console, and it's much easier to use then. So I'm just gonna hook the computer up to the power, and we have just to plug in a keyboard and mouse, so we can fire up this thing. So let's see, first of all we have to get some power here. All right, I'm just going to hook up the power to this device. We have power, so plug in the USB. I have a USB hub with the keyboard and mouse already connected to it. So just put this to this side, and we have to plug in the VGA cable as well. Let's just remove this adapter here shortly and plug in the VGA cable. So let's see if we get any VGA signal out of this device. For the setup, I use the HDMI cable with another screen. So I have to see if we get any signal Otherwise I have to plug it into another screen. So just hit the on button. All right. All right, we have, let's put this mouse on the other side. We have a Windows 11 installation on this device. So let's type in the password. So the device itself is pretty quick actually. So it starts up really quick. So that's what we want for KITT. So we have already set up like the screen, the wallpaper and lock screen and stuff like that. So we'll just deactivate the password screen once if it's inside the car, so you don't have to type in the password all the time. So, and we have two touch screens inside. We will hook it up to the touch screens as well, so you can use the touch screens to operate the device. So, one thing I already have installed on this device is the program VoiceAttack. You should be able to find the program on Google, or I will just put in a link in the video description as well. You can just download it. You have to purchase a license for it, so you see the prices on their webpage, the current prices. So it's a really cool program. So I think it's worth the money to use it. So once if you start up VoiceAttack, it just takes a little bit of time to start up. So give them a second. So it starts up with this screen here. You cannot see it very well, so I'll just zoom in a little bit. So, all right, you get a window which you can choose some of your profiles. Actually, you have to make some training with this voice engine. So I haven't set up the voice engine right now. We have to install some stuff because we need the German voice engine to talk with KITT. So right now only the English version is installed. So I cannot show you the voice recognition right now. So sorry for that, but I will show you a little bit later on how this is working. So you can add the profile, edit the profile, and I've already put in one of the command here. So the cool thing about this program actually is you can add like a new command, and you have so many options to choose from. Like you can say, I use the command like when I say, "How are you, KITT?" for example. Just type in "How are you?" So when I say "How are you?" I tell him that he has to play a sound. So you can choose from a lot of options you have to just zoom in a little bit. You have options. You can choose audio. You can choose text to speech. You can choose video files and so on. And another cool thing is, like I told you, I have an overhead console built into my kit, which is USB. Actually, it's only a USB keyboard, if you would say so. You can tell him that when I press keys, and then you can assign specific keys or a key combination for a command. Like once if this computer is inside KITT, you can just make your own combinations, like you push the red, green, and yellow button, for example, and then he plays a video file or just says something, and you have so much ways to make it personal. Like um, no kit is like the other. You can choose whatever you want to do with your own kit. So that's a very cool thing about VoiceAttack. So you can say if I when I press button, when I press mouse, and yeah, you have a lot of things to choose from. But I usually, if I make training with KITT, just to tell him that he has to answer to how are you, I just use when I say. So I'm just tell him that he needs to play a sound. I just go to the sound section here and use play a sound. Then this window pops up and you can choose one of the sounds. So I have here the selection of my sounds. I have a lot more of them, and of course all the sounds are German. So at the moment he's not playing anything because we don't have sound hooked up, so it hasn't an internal speaker. So if you choose one of the MP3 files, or better, it will be better if they are WAV files. So it has a little bit of an issue. If I used it, when I used it before a few years ago, it had a little bit of issues with MP3 files. So I'm using WAV files. They are working a little bit better. So you can choose the file you need, open it, and then you can just adjust balance, volume, and beginner position, and so on. You have a lot of things to choose from. So if you hit the OK button, you see the sound. So what I have to figure out is if I can put in more than one specific answer to this question here. So he chooses from one of these selected audio files. So yeah, we'll have to see. So you can just make some adjustments on this side here as well. So sometimes with this program it's like a little bit of try and error. So you will see that you have sometimes it's working fine most of the time, and sometimes you have just to make some adjustments to the volume and balance and things like that. It depends on how clean are you your files, your voice files, or MP3 files for MP3 or WAV files. So, and that's it for the moment. So, once if you made the training with the voice engine, you have the voice engine from Microsoft on these devices. So, once you made the setup of this, the computer should recognize your voice, and or if you are using already Microsoft voice recognition, it should be fine as well. So first time if you set it up, you have to make a little bit of training with it so that he knows who you are and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the program so far, and that's the computer. So if you are interested on the specific details on this computer, so I can show you system configuration of this device here. So, system information. Then we have a lot of things here on it, so you can pause on whatever you want to see. So we have, oh, you can just read it by yourself. So we have a 2 gigahertz for core processor in this device. So I think that should be enough to use this device for yeah, just for the Knight Rider stuff. So I guess you could open up this device and put in some more memory, and then you could use it for other things as well. I might get a memory stick. Oh, it's not called memory stick anymore. There are USB sticks, and put it into this computer, so you have a little bit more of memory you can use. But I will just go for this time. I will go with the internal memory of this device. So we are fine with that. And that's it for this video. So I'm just gonna put this one onto the computer, and then it's ready for training with the voice engine, so the KITT can respond. I will just keep you up to date with my setup into my KITT, so that you see what I've done with the audio mixer and how I wired up everything. So you can see the picture quality on VGA is pretty good, pretty sharp. So I think with these small screens inside KITT, it should be a very good solution. So stay tuned for more. And thanks for watching. And if you like this kind of stuff, consider subscribing to my channel. And thank you for following if you already did. And see you next time. Bye.